Imagine you're sitting at a high-stakes poker table in Vegas. You've already put $10,000 into the pot, and you're holding a terrible hand. But walking away now? That would mean accepting a loss. So what do? You go all in. Just like that, you've fallen into the sunk cost trap. Welcome back to the Mammoth in the Room, where we explore leadership lessons that stand the test of time. I'm Nicholas Bocconi, CEO of Mammoth Leadership Sciences, and today we are tackling one of the most dangerous psychological traps in decision-making, the sunk cost fallacy. This is a third episode in our series on evolutionary decision-making biases, the hidden forces that make smart leaders double down on bad decisions instead of cutting their losses. Stick with me until the end, because I'll share how the sunk cost trap has caused multi-billion-dollar business disasters, the science behind why our brains hate letting go of past investments, and 3 proven strategies to escape this trap and make smarter decisions. And at the very end, I'll tell you about one of the most expensive mistakes in corporate history, a company who just couldn't walk away and paid the price. Let's dive in, and we start with a question. Would you spend $10 billion on a failing idea? Sounds ridiculous, right? But what if I told you CEOs, investors, and world leaders do this all the time? Let's talk about one of the greatest financial failures in aviation history, the Concorde. The Concorde was a revolutionary supersonic jet development by the British and French governments. It was fast, New York to London in under 3 hours, but insanely expensive to operate. It burned fuel at an unsustainable rate and was too costly for most travelers. By the late 1970s, it was obvious that Concorde wasn't commercially viable. But instead of shutting it down, Britain and France kept pouring billions into the project. Why? Because they had already invested too much to quit. They had spent over $10 billion in development costs, adjusted for inflation, and simply couldn't accept walking away. The result? Massive losses over the next 2 decades until they were finally forced to retire the aircraft. That's the sunk cost fallacy in action. And here's the scary part. This isn't just a government problem. It happens every day in business, investing, and leadership decisions. The science behind why we hold on to losing investments? Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, yes, the same researchers behind the anchoring bias, discovered that our brains overvalue past investments. Their research found that people will continue to invest time, money, or effort into something even when all logic says they should stop, simply because they have already spent too much. And this isn't just irrational, it's evolutionary. A 2019 study by Bruckner, Shaw, and Rubin, The Escalation of Commitment to a Failing Course of Action, published in Organizational Behavior and Human Decision Processes, found that humans are wired to avoid losses at all costs. This behavior is rooted in our survival instincts. Early humans who gave up on food or shelter after investing effort might not have survived. The cost of quitting was too high. But in modern business, this instinct works against us. So let's talk about the 3 most dangerous sunk cost traps in business. Trap number 1, the corporate vanity project, the fall of Quibi. In 2020, Jeffrey Katzenberg, former Disney executive and DreamWorks co-founder, launched Quibi, a short-term video streaming platform. The idea? High-quality, mobile-first content with episodes under 10 minutes. The problem? Consumers didn't care. The app launched to disastrous numbers. Instead of pivoting, Katzenberg doubled down, spending $1.75 billion on marketing and content, despite every indicator showing the platform was doomed. 6 months later, Quibi was shut down. Lesson? When a strategy isn't working, just throwing more money at it won't likely fix it. How to beat it? Set objective kill criteria before launching a project. And if you wouldn't invest new money today, Stop investing old money. Trap number 2, the bad hire trap. Why leaders keep underperformers too long. We've all seen it. A high-profile executive gets hired with great expectations. But 6 months in, it's clear they aren't a fit. Instead of cutting ties, the company keeps them on because they already invested so much in the hiring process, training, and reputation. Example, Adam Newman at WeWork. WeWork's board knew for years that Adam Newman's erratic leadership was damaging the company. But because investors had already pumped billions into the vision, they refused to act until it was too late. Lesson? Keeping the wrong person because of past investment is a sunk cost disaster waiting to happen. How to beat it? Well, if someone isn't working out, cut losses quickly. Ask, if I were hiring today, would I still choose this person? And then number 3, the R&D money pit, when companies refuse to pivot. Again, one of the master examples for combined decision-making biases, the one for the ages, Kodak's digital blind spot. Kodak invented the digital camera, but instead of embracing the future, they stuck to film, pouring billions into keeping it alive, even as digital photography took over. By the time Kodak finally shifted, it was too late. They had already lost the market to Sony and Canon. Lesson? Sticking to what worked in the past can blind you to what's next. How to beat it? Regularly challenge whether your industry assumptions still hold true, and listen to market signals, not your ego. All right, what do we take away from this? Here are 3 ways to escape the sunk cost trap. Tip 1, flip the frame. Ask yourself, if I were starting fresh today, would I still choose this path? Tip 2, use decision audits. Bring in outside voices to review major decisions without emotional attachment. And tip 3, celebrate smart exits. Great leaders know when to walk away. Reward cutting losses as a strategic success, not a failure. Look, yes, agree, we've only scratched the surface of sunk cost trap, but the more you recognize it, the less control it has over your decisions. There is a beauty in developing a superpower, the power of letting go. Next week, we're tackling another dangerous decision-making bias, one that keeps even the smartest leaders clinging to the familiar when they should be innovating. All right, thanks for listening or watching, and if you want to outthink your instincts and make better business decisions, tune in again. Subscribe, rate, and share with anyone passionate about leadership. And lastly, if you're interested in more, you can order my book. It has the same title as this podcast, The Mammoth in the Room. It offers a practical roadmap how great leaders and their teams embrace evolutionary truths for outstanding business results. And it does it in 3 sections, on people, on strategy, and on implementation. Until next time, lead wisely, think critically, and don't let your past investments dictate your future. Nicholas Bocconi, The Mammoth in the Room.